Welcome to Nourishing Body and Soul, the podcast. Get ready to revitalize your mind, body, and soul. We're here to inspire women who are looking to break free from old patterns and ideas to create a life of increased confidence and improved health. Say goodbye to limiting beliefs and hello to new possibilities. So kick back, get ready to have some fun, and let's dive in. We'll uncover tools and insights that can help you build a life that's truly nourishing, body and soul. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Nourishing Body and Soul, the podcast. I'm Tracy.
And I'm Victoria.
And we're glad that you're here with us. So I know so much better than this. But
it's so much better.
It is
so
much
much
better.
I know better. I know so much better.
So much better.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm not super prone to wasting money or I'm not bad at impulse buying unless I'm laying in bed in the morning, not quite ready to get up yet, and I'm scrolling through Instagram and the ads.
Really?
Oh my gosh, I'm so much more likely to go, oh gosh, I need that. And I had to finally just tell myself, just stop.
What did you order?
Oh, I don't even remember. Just all various things.
Yeah, you did not do that in the morning.
Yeah.
I can't remember what.
I don't go crazy. I don't spend tons of money, but just things that it's like, no, it's never really stupid stuff, but it's also stuff I think probably should have given that a little more thought.
Yeah.
So now I have to make it like, I need to just, I can scroll. If I have time to lay in bed in the morning, I can scroll, but I cannot make a purchase until I'm out of bed.
That's good. That's a good thing. No, they do. Their targeted ads are truly targeted. They know exactly what's going to go, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they hit this mark too
luckily,
many times.
Luckily for me, I don't know. I guess I've just shown them that I like expensive things. I keep getting the ads that I get are like, hey, it's Nordstrom sale. Here you go. Here's like a $300 sweater. Go. And I'm like, yeah, no. So they're not as tempting.
I wouldn't make a $300 sweater purchase.
No, see, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, luckily for me, they targeted me as in a different category of finances.
Maybe that's my problem. I need to just start having more expensive tastes as far as Instagram goes.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. I know better than, and this is like a true, I know better than. So the past couple of weeks have just been, I don't know, a little rough how they get sometimes. And I know better. Like I was thinking last night, I know things that make me feel better. Like I know going and swimming in the magnificent pool that I go to will make me feel better. I know that going and seeing the woman who owns the magnificent pool will make me feel better. But like there's something about, I don't know, there's certain lows you get to and you're just like super close and you're like, yeah, I know what'll make me feel better. I just don't want to feel better. I don't know if anybody else feels like that ever. Where you're like,
only you ever. None of us have ever felt
so that's
like
the thing.
that.
So that's a real thing. Like, obviously it's a real thing. I'm feeling it, but yeah, like I'm just like, I know what will make me feel better. And I'm like, yeah, I know.
I just want to wallow here for a while longer.
Oh, that's what it is. Oh, that's what it is. It's wallowing. Ooh, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that characterization. And I think that's exactly what it is. Well, thank you.
Well,
thanks for sharing. That word doesn't go well for me. Anyway,
I don't think it goes well for any of us, but it's something we all do.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
If
we look a little bit glowy, extra glowy, it's 100 and freaking
7 or something.
7 or 8 outside. So it's stupid hot.
Yes. We get hot here and I'm okay with that, but we have crossed that threshold. We are now into officially
super hot. Yeah. Like you're lucky that we're not here in our bathing suits, which we would feel totally comfortable with because we're totally comfortable with our bodies. But lucky you.
These are the days where I have to just keep going. I'm not in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm not in Phoenix, Arizona.
Well, it's been, I know this is kind of pedantic to talk about the weather, but it's not that dry hot. We usually get kind of its dryish heat.
Yeah.
It was raining last night.
Yeah.
Not raining, but like,
Spring.
yeah, I was like, what the heck is going on? I went to check my tomatoes to see like, hey guys, are you surviving this heat? And all of a sudden rain started and I thought, well, I guess they're gonna get some
water anyway.
and get water. Yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway, so if we're glowy, that is
We're
why.
just radiant.
We haven't
It
had
has
like
nothing to do with the heat. We're just
yeah,
radiant.
yeah. We haven't had IPL facials or anything like that. We just have a lot of hot water. I mean, hot water. Hot water. We're in hot water with the hot weather.
Yes, there you go.
I'm sorry, guys. I really am.
So around here, we've talked a lot about various things having to do with our bodies.
Yes.
Yes.
A
So
lot.
the goal being, and it takes a lot of different, it's a lot of different levels and a lot of different angles we need to go at it from, but the goal being to have a healthy, happy, peaceful relationship with our body.
Yes.
So the very, 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 you want some 3 magic words? 3 super simple words?
You are right.
No,
No. Okay. Go.
not in this
Sorry.
situation. Those
Okay.
are not the words.
Okay. Go.
No,
Go.
you'll
Hit me.
like it because it's quoting Paul McCartney.
Oh, I think I know.
What are the words? They are
Let it be. Oh, we didn't even practice that, guys.
Yes,
We're so
no. Yes, let it be.
Let it
it be.
cute. Sing this song along with your beautiful voice.
Whisper words of wisdom. Let it be. There you go.
She's got a bigger voice.
That's not a big song for a big voice though. That's an
No,
intimate
okay.
song. But anyway, so when I talk to people about this, often when we think about that, we think about like, well, it's just giving up. You know, if I'm not always trying to work out and reshape, and if I'm not trying to lose weight, if I'm not
Striving. You always have to be striving.
striving for that better body, whatever, whether that's health wise or shape wise or endurance wise or whatever it is, always have to be striving for that better body. And if we're not doing that, we're giving up.
Yeah.
It's not that. It's not giving up. It's just letting ourselves be. Okay, we're gonna do a little quick exercise here. I want you to do this too.
Okay.
In 5 seconds, I'm gonna be quiet for 5 seconds. And I want you to think about as many things as you can in those 5 seconds that your body just does every day, regardless of what you want it or don't want it to do, whatever you try to make it do, what does your body just do on its own every day? Ready? Go. Time's up. How many did you think of?
I mean, I can just continue, like I can do a continuous. Do you want me to say?
Just for you.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, first of all, I breathe.
Uh-huh.
I breathe. My lungs are working. My heart is pumping.
Mhm.
My eyes open. My legs work. I can sit up. I can scroll. I can doom scroll with my, well, not as much with my hand, but like, yeah, I can doom scroll while I'm there. I mean, I can just go on and on and
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. So that, and not only does okay, we're gonna break this down even a little further. Not only does I can breathe. Okay. Well, let's break that down. Our body takes in the air around us that we can't even see.
Yes.
And it does some kind of magical voodoo thing with it that makes it, takes out the stuff that it needs from that air, and it puts it into all the cells of our body where it needs to go. And our heart keeps our blood that's taking that oxygen and going to all the various places in our body. And it pumps it all through. And our heart, we don't have to tell our heart to beat, it just does it every day. And so it's like even these things that we don't even think about that our body just does all the time. It is nothing short of miraculous.
Yeah.
It's miraculous.
And if your heart isn't beating right,
it's still
rightfully-
beating well enough.
Or-
It's keeping you alive.
or you have a pacemaker, or you've
Yeah.
had heart surgery.
That your body has accepted
Yeah,
it and you're still
And
alive.
and so it's accepted the pacemaker and
Even if we have,
miracles.
asthma or bronchitis or COPD, we have breathing issues. our body is still breathing well enough
Mhm.
that we're still alive.
Yes, that is true.
And even with all, I mean, and like you said, we could go on and on and on about all the things that our body does
Mhm.
every day to keep us alive.
Mhm.
And yet with all of that it does, we still are like, did you have cellulite? And I don't like that. Oh, but I don't like that belly that I have now. My skin is not the same even tone that it used to be. It's not the shape. And we have this list of things. Like every person that I know, if I said, name me 5 things you don't like about your body, like everybody I know could give me 5 things like that.
Oh yeah.
I have talked to people who, if I said, tell me 5 things that your body can do, things that you appreciate about your body, they can't even come up with one.
Really?
Yes, that's
They can't like come look like this.
No,
seems
because
like
they're so focused
feels like
on
a failure of imagination
it's not even imagination
or creativity.
it's just vision.
Yes.
But yeah, because they're so focused on all the things that they don't like or that their body can't do that they wish it could, that they can't even see the good things.
Yeah.
And so can we just stop bullying our bodies so much and let them be? I want to tell you some stories today.
Okay.
First friend.
Story time.
First friend. She has struggled for years with her weight, but it's the opposite of what most of us would think was a problem. And she struggled keeping weight on. And most of us would go, oh gosh, I would have that problem. Oh, no, that is not accurate. She had health issues that were causing her body to not be able to keep the weight on. And it was a real concern. But even with all of that, her heart was still beating, her bones still held her up, her muscles still moved her around. Her body, even in that compromised state, was still functioning in a way that kept her going. Another friend was in a serious horse riding accident, ended up she had serious surgeries and long recovery. She had to put so much metal and screws in her to hold her together. And it was a long recovery. And then even on top of that, once that kind of settled, her body, they found out after all of this that her body she's allergic to the kind of metal that was used. And so her body was rejecting all of it and she's in pain. And so she's gonna have to redo the whole thing. This is very less than ideal, much less than ideal. But
yes,
even when in that situation, when her body was, there were bones that were shattered, but her body mended with medical assistance, her body mended, rejecting the metal. But even with the rejecting of the metal, her heart still kept beating, her wounds still kept healing, her body still kept fighting for her and working for her. So again, another far from ideal health situation, but even in that intense situation, her body was still a miraculous thing, doing miraculous things. Another friend of mine, oh gosh, I met her in high school. Her name's Karen. If you know me, you've heard her name off of my lips. Met her in high school. She became a very dear friend. Ultimately, later on, ended up becoming my stepsister, but we were heart and soul sisters before we were legally sisters. But when I met her in high school, she already had high blood pressure. Over the course of her life, this is a woman who I said, don't ever write a story of your life. No one will believe that all these things happen to one person. She had 2 kidney transplants, and we had one, body rejected it. After a while, had a second one, body rejected after a while. She needed a third one, but couldn't qualify to be on the transplant list because her body had already rejected 2. She had a brain tumor and had brain surgery. She had 2 children born prematurely. She had congestive heart failure. She legitimately died either 2 or 3 times and came back to life. She had just thing after thing after thing, health-wise. And it was really nothing shy of miraculous how long she lived. It was astounding. In high school, they never thought she'd live, very long at all.
Mhm.
And so even with, you want to talk about somebody with a lengthy list, a thick medical chart, but even with all of that, her body still kept going, still kept functioning, still kept fighting for her, even when it was in really rough shape.
Mhm.
And we've got this amazing, nothing short of miraculous. And
What
really,
happened to her?
she passed away eventually, but she lived much, much longer than any medical professional ever thought she would.
That's amazing.
And also off of her lips, I heard the words, "I love my life," more than I've ever heard anybody else say that. So that's part of Karen's story. I can't even tell you how much I learned from her. Learned so much from her. But one of the things being our bodies are just, we live in a miracle. We live inside a miracle every day. And far too often, what do we do with that miracle? I don't like this shape. Oh, my stomach hurts. I don't like how I'm feeling. I'm having some digestive issues. We just.
Are you making fun of me?
No, that's you.
That's a lot like me. I'm like, oh, I don't feel very good today.
Yeah, and we all do that. And there's nothing, obviously we want to acknowledge if we're not feeling well. That's not a problem to acknowledge we're not feeling well.
I was kind of teasing.
But when we no, I do that too. It's like, ugh. But when we focus on that instead of, oh gosh, I don't feel well, I'm having digestive issues today. And if we take that and turn it into picking on ourselves and picking on our bodies and just letting it be another thing we don't like about our body, then we're so missing the boat, man. So missing the boat. And if we think about it, getting real serious here for a moment, what a luxury is it? What kind of privilege is it to even be able to think of, oh, I don't like the size of my belly. I've put on belly fat since menopause and I don't like that. That is such a luxury to even be able to think that. It's such privilege to even be able to think that. And just this, we just spend way too much time. Enough is enough, friends. Enough is enough. We don't need to be picking on ourselves so much. And even if we do want to, I'm not saying, we should never want to have our body be a different shape at all, or we should never want anything different for our body. We should just appreciate it exactly the way it is. Yes, appreciate it the way it is. It's okay you can have appreciation and still work to, build up your endurance, work to get a stronger heart. That's okay. We can have both of these things. I'm not saying just leave it alone, never mind, give up. I'm just saying, can we acknowledge? Can we let it be?
Yeah.
So give us some of your words of wisdom about this.
About letting it be.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about the past week. I was looking at my body and thinking, I'm the one. I'm like the one looking at my belly going, really? Like, did I really want to get healthy enough to because I was not well for a while and I was losing weight and fast and more than I wanted to. And now I've kind of evened out a little and I'm gaining some weight back and I don't like it. I was like, you should appreciate everything. You should not ever want to get sick. You shouldn't want to get sick.
Yes,
you should not want to get sick to lose weight. I'm getting better and I'm gaining weight. I'm not appreciating it. I will say that.
It's easy to say until you see the number on the scale start going up.
Oh, me and my scale. I need to get off the scale. Well, it doesn't matter the scale. It's like trying to figure out the clothing situation. But yes, what a luxury.
Yeah.
Yes, that I can worry about that versus all the many other irony things.
Yeah. So what do you think we can do about that? Let's not just leave it. Let it be is easy to say.
Yes.
How do we get to that point?
Carry on. Yes. Yes. Carry on. I feel like, oh, well, my giants are doing very badly. This has nothing to do with anything, by the way. My giants are doing very badly. And so they were asking, the reporters were asking the manager, Gabe Kapler, some questions, and he was just not having it. He was that, you know, I watch the post game and the pre-game for all the Giants games. So I have seen managers way back to this manager every game, and they're asking him questions, and he was like, do you know the answer to this question? You're just asking me to like evoke a response. And everyone's like, whoa, dude, like, we have not heard you like that. And he was completely, he sort of became unhinged for him. He's very straight, and he's very intelligent, and intelligent things usually come out of his mouth, but that was not. Anyway, I was feeling like Gabe where I'm like, do you know the answer? You just want to evoke a response from me?
Not looking for that, you know, emotion, but just if you have ideas for this. I mean, I do have
Do I have ideas?
I thought about
I
this.
don't. No, I have no letting it be. It's funny about that song though, because I had a really tough time once I had a terrible boss. Like, objectively speaking, she was just terrible. And I can say objectively because several people thought she was terrible. Anyway, and I had to focus on a lot of things, and I did a lot of webinars where I had to be like up and excited and happy, and I was not feeling that. And so I would listen to Let It Be on repeat for like hours at work before I had to go do something. So like, just to try and like even keel to counteract her like
Toxicity.
Yeah, seriously, to do that. So like, yeah, so that's how I let it be.
Yeah.
I listen to music and let it be.
Yeah, that's a great way to do it, because it's about rewiring. It's about reframing what we're thinking. And first of all, noticing when we're, if not, you know, in our minds, if not through our mouths, when we're complaining about things that really are just like, you know, quit picking on this body, you know?
Yeah.
And so first of all, noticing when we're thinking like that, and not accepting that, well, that's just normal. Everybody thinks like that. It doesn't have to be normal. We don't have to think like that.
Ask why.
We've been conditioned.
Why?
Yeah.
Why am I thinking like that?
Yes.
Why?
And just go, oh, you know what? That's a minor thing compared to, you know, how my heart keeps working all the time.
Yeah.
How, and that self-talk, or just like, okay, this is not good thinking. Do I want to counteract it with music? Do I want to counteract with thoughts? Whatever.
Yeah.
There are a lot of ways to just talk ourselves down.
Yeah, I think so. I think sometimes though going, oh, my heart is working is not, that's not like something it's like just being upset that your stomach's a little bit bigger, and that's that. But if you're asking the question, why? Well, why am I feeling like that? And part of it is I don't feel attractive, and my husband or wife is not, I don't feel like they're responding to me. I mean, like, I think maybe asking the question, why, versus going, okay, here's a thought. I'm going to say, well, my heart is working, so that should be happy and grateful. You can be happy and grateful, but also like some of these thoughts have roots that need to be explored or dug out.
That was a great point. Yeah.
So anyway.
Yeah. Why does it bother me so much that my belly's so big?
Yeah.
Why is that an issue for me?
Yeah. And what's going on?
Yeah.
With that, just why?
Yeah.
Just to keep asking,
levels of why.
Yeah, like keep asking, like a little kid. Well, why? Well, why? Well, why? I think that helps. In doing it. That's what.
That could be a thing. Sometimes that can make us a little more crazy. Well, that's why it's like it's important to have various tools in your toolbox for this, because sometimes the why is going to get us to where we need to be to get to an answer that we go, okay. And really, what this bottom line answer has zero to do with belly fat.
Yes.
Zero. And so it can help us with that. Other times it's just it can make us just start spinning and make us crazy. And so sometimes just, you know what? I don't even know why. I'm just putting on Paul McCartney and John Lennon and George and Ringo, and I'm just going to let them take me away from this for a moment.
Yeah.
And, other times it's but then noticing something good. So there are various tools to use that we can use. So
Yeah.
there we go. So be kind to your body. And don't bully it. Just let it do its job. Let it do its job and appreciate the job that it does.
Yeah.
So that is a big part, not only of nourishing your body, but also nourishing your soul.
Yes. All right.
All right.
Nice. That's it for today.
That's it for today.
That's it for today, kids. All right. See you later. Have a great week. Okay, so this is embarrassing because I've always made fun of people who did this, but
Like and subscribe.
turns out it's important.
Well, it's important because if you like what you're listening to and seeing and you want to find it again, it makes it easier for you to find it. And then also it makes it easier for other people to find it. So if you like us, like us.
Yeah. Like put a ring on it, like us.
Yeah. Then like and subscribe and it'll make us easier to find. Hey, it's Tracy. If this was helpful and you'd like more, follow me on Instagram at tlastel.nourishingbodyansoul or on Facebook or YouTube at Nourishing Body and Soul, or you can find my website at nourishingbodysoul.com. Thanks for tuning in to Nourishing Body and Soul, the podcast. Before we wrap up, we just want to remind you that the information we share in this podcast is for educational and informational purposes only and is not intended for medical advice. While we hope you find our discussions helpful, we strongly recommend that you seek the advice of a qualified healthcare provider before making any changes to your diet, exercise routine, or any other aspect of your health. We also want to make it clear that the host, guests, and producers of this podcast are not responsible for any adverse effects or consequences that may result from the use of any information or suggestion discussed in this podcast. We care about your well-being, but we can't take responsibility for individual outcomes. By listening to this podcast, you agree to indemnify and hold harmless the host, guests, and producers of this podcast from and against any and all claims, damages, liabilities, costs, and expenses arising from your use of the information provided in this podcast. We're so grateful for your support, and we hope you keep listening and learning with us. Thanks.